Welcome to MMA Takedown and our preview of this weekend's UFC 224 on Sunday in Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. To help us preview this card, we've got two of Australia's biggest MMA stars in Dan Kelly and the Celtic kid, Jake Matthews. Welcome, guys.
Thanks, Sam.
Thanks, Sam. Really looking forward to discussing Raquel Pennington versus Amanda Nunes. Obviously for the women's bantamweight title. Both are on great win streaks. It's going to be a great one.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to MACHIDA take on VITOR BELFORT. Obviously, as VITOR said, his last fight, so hopefully he's going to go out there guns blazing, trying to get the win.
Well, let's start with a look at that fight, Jake. You mentioned they're two of the very best. Have you got any favourite moments from perhaps either of those two fighters?
Yeah, always been a big fan of VITOR BELFORT, and one that's always stayed with me was his flurry on Vanderlei Silva back in the early days and getting the knockout.
But what about Machida? He's former light heavyweight champion. What about that crane kick on Randy Couture? One of the best moments ever. Also, when he won the fight, Rashad Evans was talking, backing up, and Machida finished him to win the light heavyweight title. So it's going to be an awesome fight.
Well, on to that fight. Jake, how do you see this one going down?
Yeah, very torn between this fight, having to pick between two of my idols back when I was in my teenage days fighting amateur. I use these guys as motivation, but I think VITOR still has that explosive power. Lyoto's chin is lacking a little bit lately, and like I said, VITOR still has that power, and he can pull those head kicks out of nowhere, so we might see this big spinning head kick KO.
That's a possibility, and VITOR has still got that power. Machida's chin has gone a little bit. Granted, I know from personal experience how hard Derek Brunson punches, so him going to sleep in that regard, there's no shame in that. My chin's not that bad still.
And also, Lyoto's very tall as well, so it's a little bit harder to get the head kicks. We never see Lyoto really dipping his head down. So, but like VITOR's got power in his hands as well, so it's not just a head kick that he has to watch out for.
Rockhold is tall though, both southpaws. So BELFORT and Machida both southpaws. So was Rockhold, and a lot taller than VITOR, and VITOR nailed him with that spinning back kick. Also kicked Dan Henderson in the head as well, but that was orthodox to southpaw. Machida can win. I don't think he will. He can if he stays on the outside like he does. But as you said, VITOR's just too explosive. If he goes after round one, Machida's got it on decision, but VITOR should win round one and finish an awesome career.
Well, we're certainly going to have to watch that fight to see who comes out the winner. Now let's move on to the bantamweight division. We've got number 6 ranked John LINEKER facing Brian Kelleher. Who do you like for this one, Dan?
LINEKER's probably got the heaviest hands in the bantamweight division, but he is up against Brian Kelleher, who has beaten Henan Burrell in his last fight, the former champion, and the last fight that LINEKER lost was against TJ Dillashaw. Now, Kelleher and Dillashaw do move quite similarly, so if LINEKER can't hit him like he wants to, I think Kelleher can move around enough, pick him apart, possibly win a decision. Also, you got to remember, in Brazil, all the Brazilians are so geared up. It's going to affect his gas tank. I mean, the Rio crowd is really loud, screaming out, he's going to kill you and all that kind of stuff. Really pumps him up. So if LINEKER doesn't knock him out in the first round, I think Kelleher can pick him apart. What do you think? I
think LINEKER's not got this one in the bag, but he does have the experience. I mean, Kelleher's like relative newcomer. I think he's only about 4 fights in the UFC. Like you said, very similar styles. Look at their records. They're very similar. The amount of knockouts they have compared to how many decisions and submissions. Even though it's not the biggest fight on this card on paper, I think it's the fight I'm looking forward to the most. Just obviously bantamweights, they've got gas tanks for days. They both hit hard, both can get the KOs, and I think they're just going to be going at each other for 3 rounds.
Yeah, but who you got?
LINEKER, for sure.
LINEKER?
Yeah.
I think Kelleher wins on decision, but Kelleher's one to watch in the division. LINEKER has had trouble making weight from fly before and coming up, and he has got heavy hands, but that's all he's got. No, Kelleher also has a good guillotine as well. So, yeah, that's very true. I know. But I think Kelleher's got that on decision.
Well, great to see a bit of rivalry between you two boys here in the studio. Next up, we've got the second appearance of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu superstar MACKENZIE DERN, who's taking on Amanda Cooper. Jake, what are your thoughts on this fight?
Being a Jiu-Jitsu practitioner myself and a black belt, I love everything Jiu-Jitsu, so I can't look past MACKENZIE DERN. And even on paper, I mean, she's undefeated, 6-0 at the moment. Amanda Cooper, 3-3. So even just looking on paper, I think MACKENZIE's got in the bag, but she's very tough. She's been doing this for a long time, so I definitely think she would get the win. I guess you're going to disagree with that.
No, I actually agree completely. Being a BJJ practitioner myself and a black belt as well, but black belt in judo as well. Just add that. Belt. I think MACKENZIE DERN's got this in the bag. Amanda Cooper does struggle with people with good submission games, and MACKENZIE DERN's is ridiculously good. MACKENZIE DERN in her debut fight was very wild. She was fighting someone who, Ashley Yoder, actually has got good jiu-jitsu and was hard to take down. I think MACKENZIE Dern, even if she ends up pulling guard and doing a sweep, will still beat her. I just don't think, I can't see any way where Cooper
There's always
wins this
nerves
fight.
in your first fight in the UFC.
That's
and obviously
very
a
true
lot
as
of
well.
pressure. You know, she was a big hype train behind her, being obviously a very good at jiu-jitsu, so she's going to be going there with a lot of pressure on her. But I think now all that pressure's off, and she's going to go in there and do what she does best.
That's true. And there's been a little bit of trash talk from the other side as well, so it should give a bit of fire to MACKENZIE Dern as well. So yeah, I think sub in the first round. I don't see it going any further than that.
Agreement.
Well, we love a bit of trash talk here in the studio. How about you boys trash talking each other about your belt collection? Who's got the better belt collection, I wonder? Now, on to the co-main event here. It's the clash between two top 5 middleweights, where we see JACARE SOUZA taking on KELVIN GASTELUM. Looks like a must-see bout. Who do we like on this one?
You're right, this is worth the price of admission by itself. It's going to be an awesome fight with big title implications. The only people JACARE's lost to are Yoel Romero and Robert Whittaker, who are fighting for the title in June. This is going to be an interesting match. KELVIN GASTELUM, even though he's an undersized middleweight, cannot be underestimated. He knocked out Bisping. He had a fight overturned because he got done for drugs against VITOR BELFORT, but excellent hands, and he just doesn't stop. He doesn't stop. But JACARE's grappling is on another level, and he's got heavy hands. So it's going to be interesting, again, with the whole Brazilian crowd behind you. It depends on how emotional JACARE gets, because JACARE was exposed a little bit against Rob Whittaker for gas tank, but I think JACARE is going to be too big and strong.
Hit in the head with those big hands.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I've been hit by those hands, they hurt. I think JACARE wins this by submission because Gastelum looked very small against Weidman.
I was looking forward to a bit of a debate, but you took the words out of my mouth. Like you said, Gastelum you can't underestimate him. I mean, he comes in late rounds and he still throws hard. He throws all his body weight behind his punches, and any one of his punches can land and put you out. So, I mean, if you look at JACARE, he's had a better run in terms of wins and losses lately than Gastelum. He's been on a bit of a roller coaster, but I just get this gut feeling that Gastelum's going to get him later in the fight. Not ruling JACARE out. Obviously, he's going to be the bigger fighter. He's on the ground. He's got Gastelum covered every day. But yeah, I think Gastelum, as long as he keeps his composure in the early rounds, stays off the floor, just plays smart, doesn't get taken down, I think he can definitely get the finish late second or early third.
It's interesting. I'm in two minds too. I do agree with you, and how fast Gastelum was against Tim Kennedy as well. But Tim Kennedy and VITOR, it's both.
And that was a late finish as well.
Yes, it's both southpaw against southpaw with those guys. He did knock Bisping out, but I personally think it was a mistake, Bisping taking that fight. But JACARE is massive. The way he dealt with Tim Boach, who's another big guy, and took him down, I just think he's going to be too big for him, and I reckon he'll sub him in the second round, to be honest. But it'll be interesting to see.
Well, it's certainly a fight I'm looking forward to. Now, it's main event time, and we've got the champ, Amanda Nunes, taking on Raquel Pennington in the undisputed women's bantamweight title. How do we see this one playing out?
Yeah, great main event fight. Nunes, I mean, ever since her win over Ronda Rousey, getting that knockout, I just can't look past her. Absolute fanboy at the moment, and love her work. Even against Shevchenko, who's a top-level striker, just picked her apart. Raquel Pennington, very tough fighter. I can see it going the distance. Raquel maybe edging out a decision just by being tough. But can she take the punishment that Nunes is dishing out? I mean, Nunes is on a different level to the rest of the division, and she lands hard strikes. She's not a point striker. She's going to try and hit you hard. She's going to try and stop you.
I have to agree with you, unfortunately. I mean, Pennington's been out for 18 months. She was injured. She is tough. She is durable. But as we saw when Nunes fought Shevchenko, Nunes can hang tough for 5 rounds and still come forward and still hit with heavy shots, even on the back foot as well. But I can't see Pennington doing enough damage to actually make any kind of impact other than drawing out a long decision fight. But because she hasn't got a point fighting style, like say a Holly Holm did, I just can't see her being able to hang that tough, because Nunes is so strong. I mean, what she did to Misha Tate, what she did to Ronda, like incredible power. And they're both on good win streaks, but I just think Nunes is going to be too strong.
Nunes has been a bit more active, as you mentioned. Raquel's been on a break at the moment, coming back from a surgery, or an injury. So yeah, I mean, ring rust is a real thing. I've experienced myself. I've been out for 12 months and having to get back into training. And it's different. You can do well in training, but to be fighting in front of 20,000 screaming fans when you haven't done it for a while, it can definitely have an impact on your nerves. So she might take that into the fight and it could possibly affect the outcome.
Absolutely, especially considering this is the biggest fight of Raquel Pennington's career. You know, she's main event in UFC in Brazil. Nunes will be up and about. She's very experienced now. She's fought on big spots. So yeah, we can't look past Nunes. And I think it could happen anyway. Could happen TKO, could happen by submission. She's that well-rounded, and I don't see anyone in the division beating Nunes for a while.
Yeah, I got Nunes. I got the Lioness via KO, I think.
Well, a big fight for Pennington there, but Nunes is going in as favourites. Either way, it's an awesome main event for us to watch over the weekend. Now, boys, who do we like for our best bet and our best multi in this UFC 224?
For my best bet, I have Amanda Nunes winning via TKO. She's absolutely unstoppable at the moment. And for my multi, I have Nunes via TKO, VITOR BELFORT via KO. He's still got that explosive power. And MACKENZIE DERN, absolute beast on the ground, is going to win via sub.
Good picks, Jake. I've got MACKENZIE DERN for my best bet by submission. Can't go past her. And in a multi, I want to give the punters a little bit more value. MACKENZIE DERN, JACARE, Amanda Nunes, and Kelleher. He's underrated, but I think he's going to get past LINEKER because LINEKER's just a power hitter.
Well, some interesting best bets from you guys. Thanks so much for joining us for our preview of UFC 224. It's shaping up to be a really exciting card, and thanks to you blokes for joining us this week.
Thanks, Sam. Look forward to it.
Thank you.
Well, if you're having a bet over the weekend, please remember to do so responsibly, and we'll see you next time.